Welcome everyone to Fall 2025 semester. I'm really glad to have you guys in Applied Research class this semester and look forward to a great collaborative semester. So let's dive in and look what we have for week 1. For week 1, I'm also going to give a little bit of an overview on the other sections in this course. So like as you can see that right over here, and I'm going to use my pen. We have the syllabus and the schedule. There is a course question discussion board. And if you have looked at the syllabus by now, you know that in the course question discussion board is a way for us to put in all questions related to the assignments, logistics, and other things in this discussion board. One of the biggest advantages of this is you may have a question, somebody else may have a question, so you guys can actually add on to each other's question, reply to each other's question, and I can respond to the whole class. You're more than welcome to email me if there are questions that are confidential. However, if it is related to the course, the assignments, the logistics of it, or just doubts in general also, then this is the best way to actually do that. So I'm going to open this up in just a minute. So here it is, the course question discussion board. You can access it under the communication discussions also, or right over here, you just click on it and you create a post, start a new thread, create as many as you want. Please ask as many questions as you want. I want to be able to clarify all the doubts that you have. So let's look at what is there for week 1. For your week 1, you have one assignment that is due, which is your introduction discussion board. So for your introduction discussion board, you're actually going to create a graphic with all of these things in it. Use the plus sign or insert an image in the discussion board to do this one. The introduction discussion board is for 15 points, 10 points for your own graphic and 5 points for replying to a peer. Get to know your peers, right? Let's get to know each other and all of those things. So that is why I have done this. I have posted my example also on the discussion board for you guys to see. What else do we have this week? So if you will look at this, what I have posted is an Introduction to Research. Applied Research class is the culminating or part 2 of the class from Introduction to Research. In Introduction to Research, you chose a topic and you wrote a literature review. In Applied Research, you actually implement that research in practice. Collect data, analyze it, and write. So your final paper is actually the literature review from the Intro to Research class, along with all the methods section, the data collection, the data analysis, and conclusion section. So it's a full-fledged paper. I have done assignments. I've broken down assignments in a way so that you're doing piece by piece. I will also be looking at your literature review, which comes in week 2. But for week 1, I made a scanned copy of Introduction to Research, in which, if you look at it, open up, it talks about quantitative, qualitative, and apply mixed methods research actually. So that gives you an idea is what type of data you are going to be collecting. So if you look at this part where you had your research question, the research design, and all of those things was already done in your Intro to Research class. Now we are actually going to do this part of it. So you had chosen a design, all of this part, starting from this is the section that we are going to be completing in this course. All of the part above was already done in your Intro to Research class. So this is, we'll be talking about this more in detail when we actually have our first Zoom meeting. And a link will be sent to you for getting your preferred time so that we can make sure that it works for the class. The other thing that I have here is very important is the research questionnaire. So, apologies, there are two things that are due, the research questionnaire and the introduction discussion board. The research questionnaire is basically for you, for me, and for you to gather information about your research topic. So, just talking about it, when are you graduating? Most students graduate by the end of December because this is their last class or the class in their last semester, which I'm really glad that you're in the class. And if not, that's totally okay. This is just for us to have a little bit of an idea. And then just your, where are you going to conduct research and other details about your research study so that we can make sure that it is doable and measurable in this semester, because we only have one semester to actually implement the study, collect the data, and analyze it. So we want to make sure everything that we are doing is measurable and doable within a semester. So that is the reason that there is this research questionnaire. So let me go back. So what do we have this week? This week we have the research questionnaire link, research questionnaire, and the introduction discussion board. So these are the two things that are due. Please read this introduction to research. If you have any questions, whether about the assignments or anything else, please do not hesitate to post it on the course question discussion board. I look forward to meeting each and every one of you and having a great semester. Best of luck.